Hey guys, doing my favorite thing to do, literally my favorite in the garden is pruning tomatoes. I love the smell of it. I love getting my hands dirty. Finally with something other than quail poop. I tend to prune a little heavy on my first pruning. I like to prune early. I like to get a lot of airflow coming through the bottom. That way it helps with blight, and we have experienced that if you prune early, then you're not opening up your plants to diseases with the wounds before the heat and humidity take over. Christina and I were just talking before she started filming, I do tend to prune extremely heavy early on. And what that leads for me is, in the end, I'm really not pruning and we're getting maximum production. I'm going to prune the tomato plants today, and also I'm going to prune the pepper plants. I usually don't prune the pepper plants, but I've been doing a lot of reading and I want to try it this year. Christina's giving me the weird look like she usually gives me when I go off on wild side quests, but it'll be okay. I truly enjoy the garden. Gardening's a real big passion of mine. I like the fact that I could grow my own vegetables. I really do like to eat tomatoes. Got 4 down and 99 to go. Alright, so I did say that I do prune heavily in the beginning, and here's the reason why. So some of the trimmings that I take off, we will put in water, and I don't know if you could see potential roots growing on there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but so this is my backup crop. If we get, because we do plant a little earlier than recommended most of the time, so having these already ready to plant in the ground, already established, would be kind of our backup plan. And you know, homesteading, prepping, redundancy, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So we like to have backups, and if we end up not using them, we'll give them away to people who are realizing that they want to start a garden, and you know, it's late March, late April, whatever, and like, here you go, here's a plant. So that's another reason why I prune heavily in the beginning. It doesn't really affect fruit production in a negative way. It's super beneficial for us, and the crop yields are still there. We'll end up with, you know, we'll end up so hot and the humidity will kill everything anyway. Earlier than most, some of my northern friends will be pulling tomato plants out of the ground, and y'all will be planting tomato plants in the ground. But so for funsies, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna trim some leaves back. I'm just gonna make me a little hole right here. I'm just gonna maybe make me a little hole a little deeper. Totally unscripted and side questish. I'm gonna plant this guy. Notice how much I stuck in the ground, and watering pretty frequently. I'm pretty confident that he's just gonna grow roots and produce. Tomatoes are pretty forgiving for us, especially early on, but I mean, like I said a bunch of times, and I always say, our heat and humidity comes very fast, so it's kind of like a race against time for us. So we do plant early. I like to trim the suckers off, and I like to trim anything low hanging that could potentially slow down airflow, block airflow. And I know I said I'm saving them. I'm not saving all of them, and you see me throwing them, but Christina comes behind me like always, and she'll pick out the good ones and she'll save that. But I mean, we already have flowers. We have some tomatoes starting to grow on some of them, so it won't be much longer. We'll be actually harvesting tomatoes. Doing this in some clips. Christina's kind of making me explain things. So one thing to note here, this is an indeterminate tomato, so that's why I'm able to prune as heavily as I like to. So indeterminate, it'll just grow until either it's too hot or whatever. You can actually prune these and get them to trellis. A determinate will grow at a set height, and you really don't want to prune that as heavily. It's going to be predetermined, basically how much fruit is going to make and how big it'll grow. So you want to make sure on your label, I don't see a label right here. This one doesn't even say, but I mean I know because we don't buy determinants.
You can also Google it if you're not sure.
Yeah, you can Google it. Google's your friend sometimes. Definitely do your research. I just prune heavily. I have piles of it by the time it's all done, but these things will stop focusing on so much leaf growth and start growing more and start producing fruit sooner. So I'm just trying to put all the focus on the plant into growing and producing maximum fruit, because we are limited in space. So we definitely like to make sure that we're getting maximum production for our space, as with everything we do. Going off and in the little armpits. So I like to catch these early on, the little suckers. They're really not bad to, if you do let them grow, to start more plants. That's mostly what I use to start more plants, is the suckers. But you just pinch them off. When they're big, I use the scissors. If not, I use my fingers. This is what I call an armpit. It's a main trunk here, and here's a branch, and it'll want to grow something here. So that's what I'm plucking off, just to focus all the energy from the plant onto the main trunk. And you see at the bottom, you see these white bumps. It's not any kind of disease. It's a air node, and if you allow that to touch the ground, it'll actually grow roots and it'll start rooting. So like some of your bigger branches, you can actually let it re-root and it'll suck nutrients from right there. So I have my pepper plants here, and you see first flower. So I'm gonna trim everything down from my first flower. And what that's gonna do is gonna focus the plant's energy on growing a healthier stalk and nice and strong. I'm also gonna pull these first flowers. I guess I'm gonna cut them because they want to pull. Right. This is small, so I don't really want it growing fruit just yet. And we'll overwinter these. So next year it'll be big and strong and established. So I won't have fruit now, but these guys in the heat of summer will be producing heavily. So I'm not really concerned about early fruit with them as much I am as growing strong and healthy. A good established root system will help it in the long run than having a few jalapenos early on. Like you see right here, I missed this one. This guy right here, jalapeno. I mean, could leave a couple so I could snack. Wow. But it's one of those things, you don't have to do it. I'm choosing to do it. It's at your house, it's your garden. You can do what works best for you. This is just what I'm choosing to do, and of course we're gonna film. So the neighbor's gonna decide to cut grass today. I guess that's what I get from my roof is growing at 3 o'clock in the morning. Fair trade.